Hello everyone. Welcome to Stoic Wisdom today. What if being misunderstood wasn't a weakness, but a form of power? In a world obsessed with explanation and clarity, we're constantly pushed to prove ourselves, to justify every choice, every thought, every action. But the Stoics, like Machiavelli and others after him, understood something different. That sometimes silence is more commanding than speech. That mystery can protect you in ways clarity never will. That not everyone needs to understand you, to respect you. Today we're going to explore how strategic ambiguity, being a little unreadable, can help you lead, protect your peace, and stay powerful without ever raising your voice. This isn't about manipulation, it's about wisdom, and the power of letting others wonder while you move with quiet confidence. Let's begin. Part 1, the instinct to explain. But here's the problem. Most of us have a deep urge to explain ourselves. We want to be understood, to be seen correctly, to clear up any confusion. But here's the problem. Explaining too much gives others access to your inner world. And once they have that access, they can begin to define you, box you in, or use that information against you. The Stoics believed in restraint, not just in action, but in speech. They knew that oversharing is not always strength. Sometimes it's vulnerability dressed as clarity. When you feel the need to explain, ask yourself, am I sharing to connect or to defend? Because real power doesn't beg to be understood, it simply stands. Part 2, the power of strategic ambiguity. Niccolo Machiavelli believed that the most powerful people in history were not the most transparent. They were the most unreadable. When people can't fully grasp who you are or what you intend, they begin to fill in the blanks, and in those blanks you gain leverage. Strategic ambiguity creates curiosity. Curiosity creates focus, and focus gives you control over attention, something rare in today's world. When you're clear when it counts and vague when it matters most, you force others to watch, wait, and wonder. That's not deceit, that's design. Part 3, beyond clarity, becoming a story. People don't experience you as facts. They experience you as a story. And the truth is, most of that story lives in their own mind. Their envy colors you arrogant. Their admiration makes you brilliant. Their fear turns you into a threat. But here's the insight. When you leave room for interpretation, you become larger than life. You stop being just another person and start becoming a symbol, an idea, a presence. The Stoics might say, don't fight every opinion. Let people see what they choose. Because when you try to control the story, you shrink. But when you stay grounded and let them wonder, you rise. Part 4, why strategic ambiguity works. Why does strategic ambiguity feel so powerful? Because it creates space. And in that space, people start to project. When others don't fully understand you, they begin to wonder, are they smarter than I thought? Do they know something I don't? Why are they so calm? And suddenly, you have presence. This works in leadership, when a pause speaks louder than a speech. It works in relationships when you don't rush to over-explain. And it works in negotiation, when the one who reveals less often wins more. The Stoics practiced measured speech. They believed words should be few but full of weight. Don't be silent out of fear. Be measured out of power. Mystery isn't manipulation, it's maturity. You don't owe the world all your thoughts. Sometimes silence isn't hiding. It's holding strength. Part 5. Power is emotional, not logical. We like to believe that power is based on logic, but in truth, power is emotional. People fear what they don't understand. They respect what they can't predict. They follow what they can't quite explain. Why? Because the unknown activates imagination. And imagination is always more intense than facts. This is why ancient leaders, artists, and philosophers cultivated mystery. not because they were deceptive, but because they knew. Being misunderstood gave them space to be more than ordinary. The Stoics didn't chase attention. They commanded respect through stillness. And stillness, when combined with presence, becomes power. So when someone misunderstands you, don't always rush to correct them. Let their mind wrestle with the silence, because what they imagine you to be might serve you more than what you really are. Part 6. Real-life examples. You've seen this play out in life. The CEO who speaks rarely, but everyone listens. The artist whose work sparks endless interpretation. The coach or mentor who doesn't give easy answers. It's not about arrogance. It's about holding space. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. When you reveal less, your image gains more depth. In politics, in business, even in friendships. Mystery invites curiosity. Curiosity builds value, and value attracts respect. This doesn't mean being fake. It means being intentional. Not everything needs to be explained, and not everyone deserves full access to your inner world. A Stoic doesn't blur their truth, but they don't hand it out like candy either. Let your presence speak, let your work whisper, and let your mystery do the rest. Part 7. Defense against manipulation. There's one more reason being misunderstood can be powerful. It's your shield against manipulation. When people can't read your fears, your triggers, or your limits, they can't use them against you. They can't push buttons if they don't know where they are. They can't corner you if they can't predict your moves. Machiavelli understood this, and the Stoics lived it. They practiced emotional independence. They revealed little, but observed much. They listened more than they spoke. When you stay unreadable, you stay unshakable. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means protecting your peace from those who seek to disrupt it. Next time someone tries to bait you into reaction, pause, smile, say less, because sometimes the most stoic response is no response at all. Part 8. Applying this in life. In everyday life, people constantly try to define you. They say, you're the quiet one, you're the funny one, you're too intense, you're not that kind of person. But what they're really doing is boxing you in. The moment you become easy to read, you become easy to dismiss. When you practice strategic ambiguity, you give yourself room to evolve, to grow without needing approval, to shift without asking permission. Don't be afraid to surprise people. Don't be afraid to go silent when they expect noise. Let them wonder, let them adjust, let them catch up to the version of you that's still unfolding. Part 9. Ethical boundaries. Let's be clear. This isn't about lying. It's not about pretending or manipulating. It's about choosing what to reveal and when, with wisdom and intention. There's a difference between mystery and deceit. One protects your truth, the other distorts it. The Stoic walks this line carefully. They don't reveal everything, because not all truths are safe in every room, but they also don't twist truth for gain. So be honest, be clear where it counts, and guard the rest like it's sacred, because it is. Mystery should protect your values, not hide your emptiness. Let your silence have integrity. Let your stillness be rooted in strength. Part 10. Machiavelli's Mastery. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." One must be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. To live well, you need both, the strength of the lion and the strategy of the fox. That means be clear when it matters, be unreadable when it protects your peace, be gentle when it's true, be silent when it's wise. This is mastery, not of deception but of self. And the world listens differently when you stop over-explaining who you are. Conclusion. The Stoic power of being misunderstood. The greatest figures in history were often misunderstood, not because they were unclear, but because they refused to fit into small boxes. The Stoics remind us, you don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be known to be respected. In a world that demands your full access, mystery becomes your boundary, and boundaries are strength. So the next time you're misunderstood, pause. Don't panic. Don't explain everything. Let your presence say what words can't. Let your silence do what noise never will. And remember, it's not your job to be understood by everyone. It's your job to be aligned with yourself. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like, leave a comment below, and subscribe to Stoic Wisdom Today for more insights on living with clarity, calm, and quiet strength. Until next time, stay intentional, stay grounded, stay stoic.